The Rockmart Yellow Jackets came off a bye week, and the Dalton Catamounts put on a show in their last matchup. This one was a shootout in 2022. Do we get a repeat in 2023? We're on the sidelines of Dalton at Rockmart for faculty night. Stay tuned for highlights coming up next on this week's edition of the Polk Sports Wire Scoreboard Show. Whether you love Rockmart, Cedartown, or some other area team, we're keeping track of who you want to see. Highlights, area scores, and more right here on this week's episode of the Polk Sports Wire Scoreboard Show. 2-0 Catamounts want to get one back over on a 1-1 Jackets at home this year after last year's craziness. So let's get right into the meat and taters of this matchup. Rockmart kicked off to Dalton to open the game. Dalton put on a quick two-play drive and within 50 seconds had scored a touchdown thanks to a big pass from Ethan Long to Bubba Tanner. Cats up 7-0. Fast forwarding to the next series, Jackets QB J.D. Davis throws a pick and the turnover allows Adriel Hernandez to get in for a run and a touchdown. Dalton up 14-0 after the point after. Rockmart nearly gave up a turnover on this Brent Washington run up the middle, and it ultimately led to the first field goal off the boot of Jose Alegria for the Jackets. Getting close to halftime, Dalton kicker Adrian Gongora is sizing up a decently long one, but he has not got the boot as it falls dramatically short of the end zone and just kind of hangs out there for a minute. It takes a moment, hits the cut before anyone realized it, but the ball is still alive, and here comes the general, Brent Washington down the sidelines, and he gets robbed of the score by a penalty flag. Calhoun Thompson put up a big pass play to Nazir Turner, gets knocked down by Tanner, halftime. All the way to the end of the game, this one went to overtime. Long connects with Tanner for the first play touchdown. Cats up 21-14. Rockmart gets one more try next series. Thompson scrambling, looking for a receiver, puts one up and throws it right into the hands of RJ Story. Game over. Rockmart falls 21-14 in overtime. This one came down to turnovers, with interceptions being a big factor. J.D. Davis knocked out in the first quarter also caused headaches for the Jackets offense, but Calhoun Thompson got Rockmart into overtime. They fall to 1-2 for the season. It's been a while since the Jackets have been in this spot, but they've got no time to worry about it. They are on the road Friday at Irwin County, a big team in the state. Dalton hosts an 0-3 Lassiter before they get Cedartown on September 22nd. We'll get to the Bulldogs in a minute, but first a quick commercial break and back into the action. Hey sports fans, pay attention. An area family needs your help. Meet 34-year-old Zach Thompson, who is a loving husband to his wife Savannah, an outdoors enthusiast, and just wants to be a healthy guy. But Zach was diagnosed with cutaneous T-cell lymphoma in 2022. The couple were forced to pack up and move from Rome to Houston, Texas in order to fight his cancer with the help of specialists. However, his battle is just beginning, and he'll need a stem cell donor for a required transplant. Can you do me a favor? Put the date of October 1st on your calendar and visit Worldview Baptist Church in Cedartown between 12 and 4 p.m. to help him find a potential donor. If you're 18 to 55 years old and willing to give a cheek swab, then you might just be the help that Zach needs to save his life, or one of 17,000 others across the country that are looking for a match right now. Thanks for your attention, sports fans. Visit polktoday.com to learn more about Zach's battle with cancer. We do appreciate your time and attention in this matter. Please, please, please make it out to Worldview Baptist Church on October 1st from 12 to 4 p.m. if you're 18 to 55 years old, and give a cheek swab to see if you match with Zach or many others who are suffering from conditions like his and need your help. I'm Kevin, the editor. Thank you for giving your attention to this quick public service announcement. Okay, sports fans, back into it. We had another game at home, but there's only one of me, so I wasn't able to be on the sidelines for Calhoun at Cedartown. Our friends over at WGAA were, however, streaming the game, so you might want to go check out their full highlight reel. But they were very kind enough to share a few clips with us here for the Scoreboard Show. The Bulldogs entered this one 1-2 while Calhoun was looking for redemption after being beat on their home turf in 2022 during their homecoming game. Jackets opened up the game with first blood and scored a touchdown thanks to this fast pass deep into the first quarter. Cedartown had a drive stalled and punted off the ball, but a bad reception by Calhoun gave the Bulldogs a chance, and they recovered a fumble at the Jackets' 5-yard line. Handoff goes to Tay Harris on the next play. He gets a touchdown to tie it up. Calhoun got ahead again. Cedartown gets a big run downfield by Isaiah Johnson. Gets down towards the goal line before being tackled. Drew Ledbetter scored on the next play. Tie ball game. Fourth quarter, Jackets up by 2 scores. Ledbetter dumps it off to DeMarcus Gardner, and he finds a hole, and he goes all the way. Bulldogs cut the deficit to a score. Man, they've got a chance in this one. But time is running out. Ledbetter puts up a pass, and oh no, Calhoun interception. Dogs were able to chase down the pick six and prevent the score, but it was too little, too late, as the Jackets added one more with 1:30 left on the clock and put the game out of reach for Cedartown. The Bulldogs fall to 1-3 on the year in their fourth outing. They finally get a week off before they have to take a trip to Dalton, so maybe this will be an opportunity for the Dogs to regroup and find their footing against the Cats coming up. We'll be on the sidelines for that one, so check back after the weekend of September 23rd and 24th for more. Now that our local teams are out of the way, let's take a look at some of the area scores from this past weekend's play. Since we got some mixed teams facing off in 7AA and 7-4A, we're going to feature both at the same time. Opening this week's games are North Murray at Northwest Whitfield. I called for an upset on the pregame show on WGAA on Friday night with the Mountaineers coming out on top. Was I right? Ooh, so close. 38-35 Bruins in a comeback victory. Central Carroll has been on a tear so far at 3-0 on the season, visiting a McIntosh team that is also undefeated. 2 will enter, only 1 can leave. Lions victory, 40-21. From 7-4A, Lafayette at Sonoraville, another opportunity for an upset by the Ramblers after Sonoraville took a thumping last week. The Ramblers fell and the Phoenix rose in this one, Sonoraville 41, Lafayette 21. Another 7-4A matchup, Heritage Catoosa at Ridgeland. Expected the Generals to win this one, they did with no issue. Final score 28-7 Generals. From 7AA, Harrelson traveled over to Mary Persons. Rebels having a rough start of the year at 0-2. It did not get any better for them. Bulldogs win 35-14. In 7AA, Model Fana and Murray County were off, as well as Southeast Whitfield in 7-4A. Other area scores of note, Pebblebrook at Rome. Wolves want to win big after a loss to Carrollton. Redemption time in the Seven Hills. Rome wins 48-7. Area rival alert, South at North Paulding. Wolfpack had no trouble in this one with the visiting Spartans, who are down and out on their luck so far this season with some early losses. Wolfpack victory 35-7. Another area rival alert, East Paulding at Paulding County. Raiders came off a close loss to Hiram, looking for redemption. While the Patriots have been down and out in the burbs so far this year, the Raiders win it big 44-7. Villa Rica went over to Carrollton. Trojans continue to dominate after the week 1 loss to Langston Hughes, 50-0 for the UC. Up in Bartow County, several games from Friday night. Adairsville faced off against Cass. Colonels win 40-21. Cartersville hosted Columbia. There was a Category 2 beatdown by the Canes on their home turf, 31-6. Woodland hosted Pepperell. The Wildcats looking to improve 2-2 on the year, while Pepperell was still searching for its first victory. The Cats used one of their 9 lives in the season, winning this one 35-28. Moving up north a bit, Ringgold faced off against Gilmer on the road. Tigers needed a win, and they got it, 31-7. Coal Creek went to Chattooga. The Tribe are looking for their first win and got it with a 17-14 victory. Temple hosted Lumpkin County in a matchup of undefeated squads. Tigers got shut out by Lumpkin 35-0. Armurchie at Union County. Union wins big 50-3. Tatnall Square at Bowden. The Red Devils win 40-13. Lots of 40 scores in this week's lineup from the high schools. Mount Zion at Heritage Noonan. Eagles win 42-14. Let's shift our attention now to some area college scores, as well as this quick clip we saw on Twitter from Chattanooga. The Mocs hosted Kennesaw State, and Rockmart's own Javin Watley got one of the 3 touchdowns in their 27-20 victory over the Owls. Shorter played on Saturday and got a win over Erskine College, 28-7. Berry, a huge win over LaGrange, 70-3 on the road for the Vikings. West Georgia fell on the road to Texas A&M Kingsville in a close one, 20-17. Jacksonville State fell to 2-1 on the season as they moved up to Conference USA this year. They lost on the road to Coastal Carolina, 30-16. Georgia Tech won 48-13 over South Carolina State. Georgia State got a home win over UConn's football program, 35-14. Georgia beat Ball State in a 45-3 victory. They've got South Carolina coming up at home this Saturday. Couple more to note. Texas beat Bama 34-24 at Bryant-Denny. Colorado continues to show off the Neon Dion show, beat Nebraska 36-14. Auburn won in a fourth quarter comeback, 14-10 over Cal. Last look for this episode, a few pro scores. Good job, Nick Chubb, in your opening weekend. Browns win 24-3. Nick finished with more than 100 yards rushing on 18 attempts and brought down 4 passes as well. Falcons won their opener at the Benz over Carolina, 24-10. From last Thursday night to open the season, the Detroit Lions are looking good so far this year. They won 21-20 over the Chiefs, who just came off a Super Bowl win. Also, Saints topped the Titans 16-15 at home on Sunday. That'll do it for the Scoreboard show this week. Sorry, we were very, very late this week. We'll be moving to Tuesdays for the time being to be able to add in college and pro scores. If you don't like it, sports fans, let me know in the comments. I'm experimenting more this season, so I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Let's make sure to tune in for the next round of highlights from Cedartown and Dalton on the weekend of September 23rd. We're on a bye week this week, but we will have the Scoreboard show next Tuesday out of the way. I'm Kevin, the editor. We'll see you from the sidelines in the next one.